Hi, it's Amisha and welcome back to Amisha Reads. I know that I've been missing for a really long time, and that is completely and utterly my fault. I cannot, for the life of me, manage my time properly. So, with school and extracurricular activities, I had to put something on the back burner, and that was booktube. So let's just jump right into the video. Today I am filming my October wrap-up, the month in which I've read 18 books. I'm done filming this video and I retire for the night. I will be picking up Red Sister by Mark Lawrence, and this is book 1 in the Book of the Ancestor series. I am not far in it at all. I am 29 pages into this book and it's really good. So let's get into the books I've read. So the first book that I've read was Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman, and I listened to the audiobook on Scribd. I rated it 5 stars and it was narrated by Neil Gaiman himself. Okay, so the book Norse Mythology, I had ulterior motives in reading the book. I wanted some sort of background in Norse myth before I head on over to the Rick Riordan's series, which is I'm gonna say Percy after I just read. So Magnus Chasing the Gods of Asgard. I want to reread Magnus Chasing the Gods of Asgard, which is book 1, and that's sort of summer, and I want to continue on with the series up until I think Ship of the Dead, which is the 3rd book that just recently came out, recently as the earlier part of 2018. So that's why I end up listening to Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman, and it was really good. It was just short stories featuring Loki, Thor, and just how the mythology came to be. I gave that 5 stars. The narration was amazing. The stories were amazing. You can see that he added his personal touch to the book, and that I greatly appreciated. So they weren't too long, they weren't convoluted or anything. They were short, they were to the point, they were gripping. It kept me interested. 5 stars, and that was the first book I listened to in the month of October. The second book that I read was Keepers of the Labyrinth by Erin E. Moulton. I gave that 2.5 stars. You would think that the 2 books that I read physically, this one, I would take them out to show you guys. Just give me a second. And it wasn't, this book had the promise to be so much more than it did. This is one of the books that I got from the book warehouse when I went to Book Night Fest. Just want to draw a note to that. So, it was good. It was decent. I finished it. Points. The 3rd book I read this month was A Curious Beginning. I gave that 5 stars. That was by Deanna Raybourn, and that is book number 1 in the Veronica Speedwell mystery. I read that on Scribd. Y'all, that is so damn good. Like, I just don't understand why more people aren't talking about this. Veronica Speedwell is a character beyond her time. The book is set in the 1800s London, and it follows a girl who does not aspire to be a traditional 1800s woman. So she doesn't want to get married. She prefers to be just who she is. And she just finds herself curiously involved and in the middle of everything that she should not be in the middle of. It was a really good book, and I think I read the trilogy all in the month of October. Not entirely sure, but let's check. The 4th book I read was The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I also read that on Scribd, and I gave that 5 stars. Amazing, and I'm sure everybody know what The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is about. It was such an amazing read, and Evelyn is a character who is so different. She is so much more. We see, I don't know how true it is or how closely related it is to the Hollywood glamour lifestyle, but we get to see it during that particular time period. and I enjoyed it. And honestly, I did tell myself that I had all intentions of staying away from that particular novel, and one day, like I said, I don't have self-control, so I just picked it up and I was like, why not? The fifth book I read was Hotel for the Lost by Suzanne Young. I gave that 2 stars, and I read that on Riveted Lit. Hotel for the Lost this was another book that had the absolute potential to be so great. It was supposed to be this spooky, mysterious read, and it just fell completely and utterly flat for me. It took me practically the entire month to read it. I finished it, points for me. The sixth book that I know that I've read was Heretics Anonymous by Katie Henry. I gave that 4.5 stars, and 9 times out of 10 shot isn't that on Scribd. I read that on Scribd, and it was narrated by Michael Crouch. The reason why I gave it 4.5 stars and not 5 stars is because the love entanglement, I wasn't here for it. I personally didn't like it. It didn't move me. It didn't. I read Pillow Thoughts 2, Healing for the Heart by Courtney Peppernell. I gave that 2.5 stars. It was a decent poetry collection. Maybe like 3, I don't think it was any more than 5 poems that I saved that I really liked. I also read that on Scribd. 8th book that I read was Binti by Nnedi Okorafor, and I gave that 4 stars. I listened to that on Scribd. It was literally a drive home book. It was like 4 something. I was even work, and I was like, I want to read something, and I just was scrolling through Scribd trying to figure out what I could read that won't take an extremely long time to get through, and I end up with Binti, the first book in this Binti trilogy, I believe it is, narrated by Robin Miles, and it's a science fiction. I read The Black Book by James Patterson, David Ellis. I listened to that on Audible, that and Jaws. I normally get my James Patterson fix from Audible, and that was narrated by Eduardo Ballerini, and that was the 9th book I've read, and I gave 3 stars to it. That was such a mediocre and absolutely disappointing James Patterson read. And if you don't know, James Patterson is my absolute and all-time favorite author. It was good, but it could have been more. It could have given me more something. It could have just been a bit more heavy hitting. It just, the family aspect of it fell flat. The plot was good. The plot was the only reason I gave that 3 stars. But I didn't particularly like the narration that much. The family aspect wasn't good. The love entanglement was just meh. The plot was where the kicker came in, but it wasn't enough for me to give it 5 stars. The 10th book I read was A Perilous Undertaking of Veronica Speedwell #2. Yes, I did read that on Scribd, and I think I gave that 5 stars. Yes, I did. I gave that 5 stars, and it followed the events that happened in book 1 as well as a separate mystery. So the mystery itself was something different, but we see how the difference in the mystery in book 2 played on what happened in book 1. So I can't talk about it. There's literally nothing I can tell you about the mystery that would not give away. But book number 11 was City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab. I gave that 4.5 stars. That was my first Victoria Schwab book, and that was pretty good. We followed Cassidy, a girl who can see ghosts, and she has parents who are ghost hunters, and they were supposed to take the summer and do something fun. I think it was like go to the beach or something, but their ghost hunters show got a really great opportunity that's going to take them to different ghost hunter locations all around the world to film. And we just see how she can see ghosts, and we see that what seeing ghosts meant for her as a person and what it is that she should be doing as a person who can see ghosts. And it was good. It was so good. It's middle grade, if you didn't know. I enjoyed it. I listened to it, actually. I actually listened to it, yes. And it was now narrated by Reba Burr, and it was absolutely amazing. Book number 12 was George by Alex Gino. I listened to the audiobook on Scribd, and I gave that 3 either it was 3 or 3.5 stars for 3 hours. Please read it. It was so good. It was really, really entirely good. And like I said, that was another drive home book. Like I say, I wanted something short. So, and I usually listen to audiobooks on ×2 speed. It's honestly nothing never lower than 1.8. At least for script. When I use script, it's 1.8. When I use Audible, it's always 2 speed. Let's get to the top book. The top book that I've read in the month of October. This book knocked the absolute breath out of me, okay? And this is Millennium number 3 by Stieg Larsson, A Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest. This is the last and final book of the original trilogy. I know we have somebody continuously writing on, and I think that's David Lancaster, anyway. The third and final book of the original trilogy by Stieg Larsson. And this was so fucking good. Book number 13. That's like a 600-page book. 650-something page book. The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender by Leslie Walton. That was so and utterly unrated for me. I listened to that on Scribd, and the narrator was Cassandra Campbell, and I up to this day cannot rate that because it's not a 5-star book, but it doesn't fall anywhere within the 4-star realm. And I know that this book is supposed to be magical realism, and it was so beautiful. It was really, really, and honestly. Number 15 was A Killer's Mind that I gave 4 stars by Mike Omer, and I listened to it on Audible. Yeah, I listened to it on Audible, and it's the first book in the Zoe Bentley mystery. Man, that was good. And he is slowly climbing his way on to a favorite author, because I started reading A Spider's Web by him as well, with listening to it on Scribd, and this was good. If you didn't know, my favorite genre is mystery, thriller, suspense, not horror. I only make that exception for Stephen King, because I like to sleep at night. Book number 16 is The Invention of Hugo Cabret by Brian Selznick. I give that 5 stars. It's narrated by Jeffrey Woodman, and that again was another ride to home to work book. And the audiobook, listen, that's a must listen to, because you have all the background noises. It's like when Hugo started running, you hear the pattering of the streets. When he stole stuff, you hear like the crunching and the rapping and the bells dinging when he entered the store. And it follows Hugo Cabret and his invention. The last 2 books that I read was the third novel, which is A Treacherous Curse. Treacherous? I don't really know. By Deanna Raybourn, and that's Veronica Speedwell number 3. And I can't obviously give you that because I can't tell you anything past book 1. But why do you people not read Veronica Speedwell? That needs to be a little bit more talked about than it is now, because that's how good that book was. The third one, I gave that like 3.5 stars. Yeah, 3.75 stars. And the last book I read in the month of October was And the Ocean Was Our Sky by Patrick Ness. And I have a full Goodreads review on this particular book. It's a Moby Dick retelling of sorts, but we follow the whale. It sounds weird, but with Patrick Ness, he often has very weird concepts that really either work for you or don't. And I gave this 4 stars. This worked for me. I don't know if it worked in the way I'd like it to, but I didn't see myself rating this anything lower than 4. It was really good. Like I said, I have a full Goodreads review, so you can go on and check that out. I will leave the link for it down below. As usual, I have no outro. If you liked my video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I will leave all my social media handles down below. This is Amechereads, and thank you for sticking around.